Priorities!
As an advisor to the police explorers, Officer Jamie Fulton's career with the Greensboro Police Department has come full circle.
And to the Republic.
At the tender age of 14, this 20-year veteran once sat in the seats occupied by this group of youngsters, a time in his life when he admits not always making the best choices. One decision that changed the outcome and overall direction of his life was deciding to become an explorer. Officer Fulton vividly recalls the first impression the explorers made on him, ultimately convincing him to join the ranks.
I agreed to go to a meeting just to see what it was about, and I was really impressed when I walked in and I saw the explorers in uniform, standing at attention. They looked good, they were well disciplined. Just the whole air of the program really appealed to me. So I went back to a couple of more meetings and then decided to join up.
Being an explorer gave Officer Fulton an advantage over his fellow recruits before and after completing the academy.
I already knew my 10 codes. I already knew basically how the department worked. I knew a lot of the folks that I was going to be working with, having ridden with them. And I didn't have this big shock when I got out in a police car on my own of, oh my gosh, I'm actually doing the job now. Not that I was doing the job as an explorer, but I had a better grasp of what I was getting myself into.
Riding along with the officers and getting a real sense of what policing means reinforced to the teenaged Fulton there are consequences to making bad decisions. Being an explorer also gave Officer Fulton a newfound respect for the men and women who pledged to protect and serve.
I was able to develop personal relationships with a lot of officers, and I discovered that they really truly cared. And regardless of whether I went to law enforcement, they wanted me to make something of myself and go far in life and always do things to the best of my ability. And just seeing that environment made me really want to become a part of it. And I realized, cops aren't just around to lock you up. They really do this job because they care.
The Police Explorer experience in the early 90s compared to now provides the same model of leadership and commitment to community service.
The core values and basis of being an explorer hasn't changed. I don't see it ever changing. We exist to provide young folks between the ages of 14 and 20 with the opportunity to sample law enforcement, see if it's really for them. If they decide it's not for them, that's fine. We still want to teach good leadership skills and round them into being a good citizen, no matter what profession they choose.
The current class of explorers speak highly of the experience, welcoming the challenge and demands of the program, which come with rewards.
Who here's ready to test tonight? Let me ask you this, what do you have to lose by testing tonight? Your dignity, okay, I'll give you that. All right, show of hands, who's gonna test? 4, all right, come on, peer pressure.
We are very firm, very fair with these guys and gals. We expect a lot of them, but we also try to give them a lot in return. So far, everybody has been really impressed with the program. They like the regimen of it, they like the discipline, but they also like the fact that we give them time to let their hair down. For an example, next week we're going to play laser tag with them. And they're all chomping at the bit and excited about that. And I am too, as an adult advisor.
And you mentioned that you can potentially have a wait list, so that
Yes.
absolutely gives the people who are in the program something to think about in terms of slacking off, knowing that their slot could be filled by someone else.
Absolutely. We set very high expectations for our members. They're required to attend all meetings. They're required to contribute a certain amount of service hours per month before they can participate in the fun activities like the ride-alongs or stuff like that. And it's set forth in the very beginning, if you don't meet these standards, if you cannot commit, then we've got folks waiting that would be more than happy to take their spot. And so far, I'm really proud of our kids. They've stepped up and they've met the challenge.
Good. And is there a cost associated with the program?
There is a fee. It's a $10 fee that the members have to pay. The police department and the city absorb the rest of the fees with the Scout Association.
When asked what motivates him to continue serving after 20 years on the job, Officer Fulton says it all boils down to having a genuine heart for policing.
It's definitely a very hard time to be in law enforcement right now. Talking with some of the other officers that have since retired, I don't know that there ever was a good time to be in it, but what keeps me coming in every day is I truly care about the community. And whether it's working traffic enforcement or whatever it is that the officers are doing, we're out there because we care. We're not out there to make a quota. We're not out there to infringe on people's rights. We're out there because we care.
Don't be afraid of a challenge. Every one of us in this room has done stuff before we didn't. You can put your hands down. We didn't know if we were going to succeed at it. We didn't know how we were going to do. You never know. There's a saying, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? This is a bite out of the elephant.